Hey everybody, Blugoblin here, the greatest goblin that ever lived, and I'm here going old school. Found my old hat and decided what the hell, I'll go ahead and wear it for this review. Thank you for joining me for this comic book review for this week of March 2016. I got a small stack here, I only got 7 books to cover, and I apologize for being late. Just got to find the time to do these. Yeah. I'm surprised I'm even surprised I was able to squeeze time in to do all those topic videos I've been doing here lately. Got some indies, and I'm going to end with the big 2. We're going to start with a back issue, but I still wanted to talk about it. This is from Aftershock Comics. This is InSEXts number 3. Marjorie Bennett. I'm telling you, this writer, she's creeping up on me. That sounded wrong. What I mean by that is that a couple years ago, I didn't know that much about her. But the more stuff I read from her, the more fond of her I'm getting as a writer. It's like, with all due respect to Miss Bennett, she's still not at the level of a Gail Simone or a Mark Waid, but she's getting up there. She's been writing a lot of really good stuff. And this is one of those titles. Now, if you missed my reviews of issues 1 and 2 of this series, go to my Blugoblin X channel. The link is always in the description below. Go to my second channel and check out my reviews for issues 1 and 2 of this series. Once again, need to remind you, this is a book for mature readers only. Do not let your kids read this. For those of you who haven't read, who don't read this series, it's basically an erotic thriller. It's pretty much what it is, and the main characters are a lesbian couple, kinda. Except in this one, they appear to be like humanoid, insectual monsters, and in this issue, we see them trying to raise a family. They have this bond, this couple does, where, even though you know what they truly are, you see this couple and you really believe that they love each other. They want to live the rest of their lives together. They want to raise children. They want to be happy. You believe it. I believe it. It's that good. It's that well written. Yet at the same time, they've got this monstrous transformation about them. And they kill people. And they kill people in this issue. But in this issue, it kind of seems like they're transforming into these monsters, yet they're having trouble controlling these changes. And some of the stuff can get pretty graphic. And this was just a really fun, really shouldn't describe what I see in here as fun, but it's good. It's good storytelling, it's tense, it's dramatic, it's action-packed, it's thrilling, it's really good stuff. Marjorie Bennett really knows how to write some seriously good books. Good issue, really good. Is it as good as issues 1 and 2 are? At the very best, it's probably on par. It's not any worse, but it's not any better. But it is good. It is really good. This gets a 3.5. Going on to IDW. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic number 40. Wow. Anderson and Hickey, they're the main people on this issue. This is a flashback issue in which we see how Twilight and Spike first got together. And I thought there was some pretty interesting details in here. Minor spoilers in here. Spike originally belonged to Princess Celestia when he was an infant. And she recruited Twilight to help her watch him, to help her raise him. For there were times where Celestia could not be there to nurture him. And, of course, you take that in Twilight's stress of going to school and everything and trying to be the brainy kid, yet she doesn't have any friends to help her out at this point in time. And the stress, the way the artwork is done in here, the amount of, the high level of stress on Twilight is perfectly represented in here through the artwork alone. You don't even have to look at the dialogue to see just how fucking stretched Twilight is in this issue. And she then towards the end of the issue, she finally realizes what Celestia truly gave her when she gave her the task of helping her raise Spike. And it was good. This was good. This was a cute, cutesy-wootsy, fun issue, and I really dug it. I thought it was good. And I find that hard to say because Twilight's not my favorite character in this book. I'm not really a big Twilight Sparkle fan. I'm more of an Applejack guy. And Jennifer's a Pinkie Pie girl. But yeah, Twilight not really a fun character sometimes. There are times when she's badass. There are times where I could care less about her. That's the burden of Twilight Sparkle. There are times I just don't give a shit. But here, I gave a shit, and it was a good shit. Man, that sounded wrong too. But this was good. Nonetheless, it was fun. 3.5. Maybe a 4. But at the very least, a 3.5. Going to Dynamite. Lo and behold, Marjorie Bennett again. Red Sonja number 3. Marjorie Bennett does such a good job with this, and Aneki does good work on here too. Going back to what I said earlier, is Marjorie Bennett up there with Gail Simone and Mark Waid? No. But like I said, she's getting there. I mean, if she continues to write books like InSEXts and like Red Sonja, like the way she does, if she keeps it going, she's going to move higher up the ladder. But she's still... I'm not trying to compare apples. I'm not trying to... Oh, I can't use the apples to oranges shit. I really shouldn't be comparing writers because they all try their best. It's what they're paid to do. But for me, for my honest opinion, Marjorie's still got a way to go to catch up to somebody like Gail Simone. But she does do a good job in here. And I love the beginning of this issue. You see Sonja, after she's reconnected in the last issue to her a former love, who is now the king of her homeland. And what does she do? She socks the motherfucker right in the jaw. And then she's trying to explain to this king, what's best for her country. And this king is just spouting out more bullshit after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. I mean, this king, he sounds like a goddamn baby-kissing politician. And it's to the point where it looks almost comical the way this motherfucker spews his garbage. But Sonja gets some help from an old friend. Not going to go heavily on the spoilers in here. But by the end of the issue, we see what the king's decision is on apprehending Sonja. And all I can say is, you cheeky motherfucker. Really? You're wow. Talk about devotion to your work, or devotion to your wants and your desires, or whatever that bullshit I'm trying to say. But this was a good issue. Really good. The cliffhanger just made me go, huh. But it was good nonetheless. A solid issue. Well worth your time. Well worth your reading. It gets a 4. Now we're going on to DC. We're starting DC off with Poison Ivy Cycle of Life and Death number 3 of 6. It's hard to believe this is only a mini-series because the writing is getting better and better the more I'm reading this, and it kind of makes me wonder, should this have been an ongoing like Harley Quinn? I mean, God, we got how many Harley Quinn titles? We we had a Harley Quinn Power Girl series. Now that's gone. So now we got Harley Quinn, and we're going to have Harley and her gang of Harleys. And then by the time Rebirth comes around, we're going to get Harley Quinn twice a month. I mean, we're getting 2 fucking Harley Quinn books a month. Why can't we have at least 1 Poison Ivy book ongoing? You know, we're giving so much love for Harley Quinn, but we can't give enough love for Poison Ivy. Which, I love Harley Quinn. I always have and I always will. But for my money, out of the two Queens of Crime, I was always a bigger fan of Ivy than I was of Harley. I mean, anybody who knows me personally knows this. But first of all, like I say, that is a really beautifully creepy fucking cover. I would probably say this gets my cover of the week if I did that shit. You know, I do picks of the weeks. If I did covers of the weeks, this would probably get it. Because it's so beautiful yet disturbing at the same time. It's kind of hard to get that sometimes nowadays in comics. But to everybody who worked on this, this is really solid stuff. More and more people are coming up dead, and Ivy's trying to get to the bottom of it. Yet at the meantime, we got some snoopers, and she's trying to raise these hatchlings that she has created and everything. And by the end of the issue, she calls to another old friend. And even though I'm pretty sure everybody already knows who it is, I still don't want to give it away, because this was good. I'm not going to give too much away, though. I mean, I thought this was a really fun issue. I thought it was good. I liked the cliffhanger at the end. I'm honestly intrigued on where this is going, and I like the fact that they're sticking true to Poison Ivy's character. For the most part. She's trying to turn over a new leaf. That was a bad choice of words. She's trying to better herself, yet at the same time, she's still got that killer instinct about her, where if you piss her off, she's gonna kill you. And there's a moment in this book where that's properly showcased. Minor spoiler, but she gets a hold of a guy, and quite frankly, the son of a bitch had it coming. But this was good. I really loved it. Gets a 3.5. Moving on to Superman American Alien number 5 of 7, Landis and Manipool. Good stuff. I mean, I think this title was called Eagle. This issue I wasn't feeling as much as I have the past 4 issues. I'm seeing Superman in a bulletproof vest with a white S painted on it, and he's going around in Batman's cape. It's kind of like Superman, the beta version. And for me, it just didn't work. The writing is still good. The writing is still solid. It's just that Clark's looks so goddamn ridiculous in this issue. It was really tough to take it seriously. But the writing was still good. The drama was still good. The comedy that worked was still good. Just a decent issue. Out of the 5 issues of this series that I have read so far, in my honest opinion, this is easily the weakest issue of the series so far. But that doesn't mean the book was horrible. It had its moments, but then again, it also had its moments where I just thought to myself, what the fuck is this? But Lex Luthor is still a maniacal, narcissistic son of a goddamn bitch, and man, do I love him for it. But just really, really good stuff. For the most part. It was good, but still felt like the weakest issue so far. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just going to give it a 3.5 and shut the fuck up about it. Alright, on to my pick of the week. This is the pick of the week. All New X-Men number 6. Was this jaw-droppingly awesome? Was this a 5-star classic? No. But I still enjoyed it. I still loved it. Hopeless, Bagley, this was amazing. This, again, felt like going back to the good old days of X-Men, where you had the X-Men protecting humanity that fucking hates them, yet fighting for that humanity that fucking hates them against the evil mutants who also oppose humanity. It felt classic. It felt nostalgically modern. This was good. You have the X-Men versus the Blob, yet meantime, you got Cyclops swimming up shit creek with only one arm tied behind his back dealing with fucking Toad, and then you got the stuff going on with Idy and Bobby, and you got the stuff going on with Wolverine and Angel, who, by the way, Angel is the fucking star of this issue. He has a moment in here that just made me go, fuck yeah! You know, it would have been even better if while he was doing what he did, and all of a sudden he just screamed, America, fuck yeah! It would have been so goddamn corny, I would have fucking loved it. I mean, this was good. This was really good. Fantastic read. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Was it silly? Yes, but I loved it. Great stuff. Gets an easy 4. We're ending this with Extraordinary X-Men number 8, the beginning of the Apocalypse Wars. Another title that feels kind of nostalgic. It doesn't feel quite as nostalgically powerful as All New X-Men does, but this was still a good read. Yeah. Oh god, where do I start with this? You got all kinds of crazy shit going on in here. You got the stuff with Magique and her little protege thing. Her stuff with Doctor Strange, and you got stuff involving time travel. You had a really heartwarmingly weird moment between Logan and Storm at the beginning of the book. Yet I gotta point out something. I thought I personally got a kick out of seeing Storm sitting at a desk going like this. Seeing Storm sitting at the desk like this, it's like, oh my gosh, she is literally turning into Charles Xavier. I just couldn't help but notice her doing like this. If I ever see Storm start going like this when she's using her Storm powers, I'm just going to go fucking nuts. And they come across... The thing that draws them into Shit Creek is that Cerebra is able to detect, get this, 600 new mutant signatures where they're in the middle of this whole thing with the Terrigen Mist, killing off mutants, preventing new mutants from being born, yet they suddenly, just like that, detect 600 new mutant signatures, and they go to investigate, and they end up jumping into the pool with a full stomach, and everything just goes haywire, and they find themselves 1,000 years in the future, and then I am going to stop right there because the last page made me go bug-eyed. I'm gonna tell you, if this shit didn't come out on the week, this would have been pick of the week. This was good. Get a load of this. This is the only sight of Apocalypse you see throughout this entire issue. This feels like they're gonna try to slowly build up his appearance in this storyline, and once the time comes for Apocalypse to make his presence known in this storyline, I just like to know what the fuck is going to be happening with him. Are we going to have El Saban Nur? Are we going to have Dare They Go There, a futuristic look at that fucking little Evan kid that they got in the Jean Grey school? I don't know. Who knows where they're going with this? All I know is I'm strapped in and I'm ready to ride, goddammit. This is a really good issue. Another easy 4. So that's all I got for this week, everybody. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget Blugoblin X as well as Arkham Asylum Studio. There's something that Jennifer and I have been wanting to try, but we're not quite sure if we're ready for it yet. But if we do decide to go for it, you will be seeing some new stuff for Arkham Asylum Studio. Don't forget, of course, my bros, TheMtVernonKid, Deadpoolzilla, and Brandon Hex, as always. Follow me on Twitter at Blugoblin01. You can find me on blugoblin.tumblr.com. Look for me on Pinterest, Facebook, or you can stick with me here on YouTube. Do whatever you want. It's your life. Do what you want. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I am Groot. I'll see y'all later.